Hi everyone, welcome back to the course on chemistry. Previously, we are discussing about some important questions from the states of matter for competitive examinations like KCET, NEET and JEE. In today's video, we will solve some more problems on chapter states of matter. Before going to the problems, first we shall study some of the important concepts in that states of matter which are important for KCET, NEET and JEE. Among them, the first one is kinetic gas equation. Kinetic gas equation. So as you have already know, the kinetic theory of gases postulates, there are totally 7 postulates we have learnt, and from all those postulates we will derive one equation that is given as PV is equal to 1 by 3 N mu square. So this is the formula which is derived from the kinetic theory of gases postulates, which is known as kinetic gas equation. And here N means number of moles of gases. N means number of moles of gases, and M means molar mass, and U means root means square velocity. Root means square velocity, or it is also known as speed. Root means square speed or root means square velocity. And P is pressure, V is volume, that you have already know. This is the kinetic gas equation. So remember this equation, it is important while solving the problems. Along with this, if we want to find the kinetic energy of gas molecules, how we can find that? To find the kinetic energy of gas molecules, we have the different equations. For one gas molecule, okay, for one gas molecule, the kinetic energy will be given as, okay, kinetic energy is equal to half mv square, that you already know. The equation half mv square, that you have also studied in the physics. The kinetic energy of an object will be given by 1 by 2 mv square, and for one gas molecule it can be written as half mv square. Suppose if I want to find the kinetic energy for 1 mole of gas, ಈಗ ಸಪೋಸ್ ನಾವು 1 mole of ಗ್ಯಾಸಿಗೆ ಕೈನೆಟಿಕ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಕೈನೆಟಿಕ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ is equal to 3 by 2 RT. We will use this equation, that is 3 by 2 RT. For one gas molecule we use kinetic energy equal to 1 by 2 mv square, and for 1 mole of gas, this is for 1 mole of gas. 1 mole of gas, kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 RT. Here R is universal gas constant and T is temperature. And also for n moles of gas, here one molecule, if one molecule is there, we will use this equation. For 1 mole of gas, we will use this equation. And if there is a presence of n moles, okay, if there is a presence of n moles of gas, we will use the equation kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 nRT. We will simply substitute the value of n, that is nothing but the number of moles. Okay, whatever the number of moles, then the equation is given as K is equal to 3 by 2 nRT for n moles of gas. So remember these 3 equations which are related to kinetic energy of an gas molecule. And as you know, the kinetic energy of gas molecules is directly proportional to absolute temperature, and hence kinetic energy is 0 when the temperature is 0, that is absolute temperature, that is 0 Kelvin. At 0 Kelvin, the kinetic energy of the molecules is 0. 0 Kelvin temperature iddaga kinetic energy ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 0 ಇರುತ್ತಾ? Remember that. Remember, 0 degree Celsius is different, 0 Kelvin is different. I am telling at 0 Kelvin the kinetic energy of gas molecules is 0, but not at 0 degree Celsius. 0 degree Celsius iddaga the molecules have kinetic energy, but when 0 Kelvin temperature, that is also known as absolute temperature, at that temperature the kinetic energy is also 0. The next thing is, as you have know, the ideal gas equation, that is given as PV is equal to nRT. So this is the ideal gas equation for n moles of gas. For 1 mole of gas, how will you write the ideal gas equation? PV is equal to RT. So n moles of gas iddu anta helidra aವಾಗ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬರೀತೀರಿ ideal gas equation na PV is equal to nRT. If the number of moles is 1, for 1 mole the equation can be written as PV is equal to RT. And also along with this, here we will take the number of moles. What if I want to calculate it for one gas molecule? Suppose ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ನ ಪರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್, ಒಂದೊಂದು ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲಿಗೆ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸನ್ನು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊರಿ. ಅವಾಗ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನೀವು ಬರೀಬಹುದು? ಫಾರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ we will use the equation PV is equal to nKT. So this is how we will write the ideal gas equation for the given molecules, given number of molecules. It is for n moles and it is for given number of molecules, where n is the number of molecules and K is Boltzmann constant. K ಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? Boltzmann constant ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Boltzmann constant. And this Boltzmann constant can be written as K is equal to R divided by N naught. Okay, so K is equal to R divided by N naught. It is the value of Boltzmann constant. Remember this. And if we substitute the values of R and N naught, it is nothing but Avogadro's number. N naught ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ? Avogadro's number. R ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ gas constant, that is 8.314. If we substitute the values of R and N naught, we will get the value 1.38 into 10 raised to minus 23 joules per Kelvin. So this is the value of K, which is known as Boltzmann constant. And in similar manner, the K value can be substituted in the kinetic energy gas equation, that is given by kinetic energy equal to 3 by 2 RT, that you already know. So here in place of R, it is again for the number of moles, we will consider some number of moles of gas, and if that is per molecule, if we want to find the kinetic energy of per molecule, we will write it as 3 by 2 KT. Okay, where K is nothing but Ke is equal to 3 by 2. In place of K, we can also write R divided by Na, that is Avogadro's number into T. So remember this equation of kinetic energy. Okay, and here we can further modify the PV is equal to nRT equation as PV is equal to nRT, which can be written as PV is equal to W divided by capital M RT, because N is number of moles. N ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೇನು? Number of moles. How you find the number of moles? Number of moles hang find out ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? Given mass divided by molecular mass. Small w ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೇನು? Given mass, ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ mass. Capital M ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ molar mass, and hence N is equal to W divided by M. And substituting the value of N in this equation, we will get PV is equal to W divided by M into RT. So these are all the different kinds of equations which are modified forms of ದಿ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬರಿಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದೀಸ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಈ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಸನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿರಿ, ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಟುಕೋರಿ. ದಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ಸ್. ದಿಸ್ has been I have already explained in theory class. Theory class ಒಳಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡೀನಿ. So just see the equations that you have learnt in molecular speeds. There are different kinds of speeds based upon the movement of gas molecules, and those are, the first one is most probable speed. Most probable speed or most probable velocity, which is indicated as alpha, and it is mathematically expressed as alpha is equal to square root of 2RT divided by m. So this is how we will express the most probable speed. Then second one is what? Average speed or average velocity. Average speed or average velocity, that is given as mu bar. Okay, and how we write its formula? Mu bar is equal to 8RT divided by pi m, where m is the molar mass in both the cases, R is universal gas constant, and T is temperature. And along with this, we have also studied the third type of speed, that is root mean square speed, which is denoted as URMS, root mean square speed, and it is mathematically expressed as square root of 3RT divided by m. 3RT divided by m. So just remember these equations where R, T and m represents the same things. R universal gas constant, T temperature, m molar mass. So this is how we will write the formulas for these molecular speeds. And if we take the ratio of these, this can be related as alpha, mu bar and URMS. The ratio of these will be given as, if the most probable speed is having the value 1, then the average speed will be 1.128 and root mean square speed will be 1.224. So among these, the highest value will be shown by root mean square speed and lowest value is shown by most probable speed, and this is the ratio in which the speeds are varied among these three types of molecular speeds. And URMS, that is root mean square speed, when there are two different gases are maintained at same temperature, how to find the root mean square speed? If suppose ಎರಡು ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿನಿ, ಅದರದ್ದು ಟೆಂಪ್ರೇಚರ್ ಏನದ ರೀ ಸೇಮ್ ಅದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊರಿ. ಅವಾಗ ಆ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ದ ರೂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ? ದೆನ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ರೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ m2 divided by m1. Okay, remember, when the two gases are different and maintained at same temperature, we will use this equation. Here m1 and m2 are molar masses of gas 1 and molar mass of gas 2. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರ್ತಾವು, ಟೂ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಎರಡು ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸನ್ನು ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಕಂಟೈನರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಸೇಮ್ ಟೆಂಪ್ರೇಚರ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ರೂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್. Two different gases are present at same temperature. And similarly, if same gas is maintained at two different temperatures, okay, ನಾ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಸೇಮ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸನ್ನು ಎರಡು ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟೆಂಪ್ರೇಚರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ದೆನ್ ಹೌ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ದಿ ರೂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್? ಅವಾಗ ರೂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡನ್ನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು? ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಗಿವನ್ ಆಸ್ URMS is equal to T1 divided by T2, square root of T1 divided by T2, where T1 is initial temperature and T2 is final temperature. That is, different temperatures are there. first temperature is taken as T1, second temperature is taken as T2. Okay, when same temperature is given, different gases are there, we use their molar masses, and when different temperatures are given, then we will use the different temperatures values to find the root mean square speed. And also this URMS, it is calculated by using the different formulas based upon the given things. That can be written as, it is the one formula, and also along with this we will also use another formula, that is 3PV divided by M, or we can also use the formula square root of 3P divided by D. D is density, P is pressure, V is volume, and M is molar mass only. Based upon whether they have given density or whether they have given volume or molar mass, based on that we will use these three different formulas. Okay, all formulas are used to find the root mean square speed. The next important concept is van der Waals equation. Van der Waals equation. So here you have seen the van der Waals equation was given for real gases. Ideal gas equation is PV is equal to nRT, and for real gases van der Waals equation is given by P plus an square divided by V into V minus NB is equal to nRT. So this is the formula of real gas equation or van der Waals equation, where A and B are constants. Which constants? Van der Waals constants. A and B ಗೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? van der Waals constants ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Along with this, you have seen the another thing which is used to find the deviation from the ideal gas behavior. Ideal gas behavior ದಿಂದ deviation ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾವು. ಯಾವ? Real gases. ಯಾಕೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾವು? Because of incorrect statements of kinetic molecular theory of gas. There are two incorrect statements which does not holds good for real gases. Those are, there is absence of intermolecular force. That means there is no intermolecular force is present between the gas molecules. It was stated by kinetic molecular theory of gas, but in real gases there is a presence of interaction forces. ಹೌದಾ? ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕೈನೆಟಿಕ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ನಡುವೆ, ಬಟ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ರೀ, ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ ಇನ್ ರಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಈಸ್ ನೆಗ್ಲಿಜಿಬಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಟು ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್. ಗ್ಯಾಸದ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲದ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ರೀ, ನೆಗ್ಲಿಜಿಬಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್. ಹೌದಾ? ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ದ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ರೀ, ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಿಗ್ಗರ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ದ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ನೆಗ್ಲಿಜಿಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಎರಡು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾವೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೆನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡಿರೈವ್ಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ that is known as van der Waals equation. Now that deviation from ideal gas behavior, some gases show little bit deviation from ideal gas behavior and some gases will show more deviation from ideal gas behavior, and that can be calculated by using one factor that is known as compressibility factor. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, compressibility factor ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, which is denoted as Z, compressibility factor. So here if Z value is 1, then it shows that it is an ideal gas. ಏನಾದರೂ Z ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 1 ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. If Z value is not equal to 1, that means if Z value is less than 1 or Z value is greater than 1, then it indicates it is an real gas. ಅವಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ರಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. And this value of Z can be calculated as Z is equal to PV divided by RT. Okay, Z value ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡಿತೀರಿ, Z is equal to PV divided by RT for 1 mole of gas. For n moles, PV divided by nRT. So remember this equation to find the compressibility factor. And here also, due to the interaction forces, gas ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾವ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗ? at low temperature and high pressure. And hence that conversion of gas molecules into liquid form is said to be liquefaction of gas. And this conversion of gas into liquid takes place at certain range of temperature. If that temperature is crossed, then the gas molecules cannot be converted into liquid form. ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ವರೆಗೂ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ನಾವು ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದನ್ನ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. above that temperature we cannot able to convert that into liquid, and the temperature above which gases cannot be liquefied is said to be critical temperature. ಯಾವ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ದಾಟಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಕ್ರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, and it is denoted as TC, and this can be given as 8A divided by 27 RB. So this is the critical temperature, where A and B again they are said to be van der Waals constant. ಅವಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, van der Waals constants ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, and R is universal gas constant. Okay, so remember this equation, critical temperature, the temperature above which gas cannot be liquefied, and it is given by this formula. And also you come to know that the real gases show the ideal gas behavior at certain conditions only. Okay, real gases ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾವು, ideal gas behavior ಅನ್ನ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾವು ಎಂಥ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗ, ಹೈ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಲೋ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್. ಹೈ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಲೋ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ ರೀ, ರಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಶೋ ದಿ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ at which the real gases shows the ideal gas behavior is said to be Boyle's temperature. ಆ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಾಯ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ದಿ ರಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ at which real gases shows ideal gas behavior is said to be Boyle's temperature, and it is written as TB is equal to A divided by BR. Okay, so this is the Boyle's temperature. TB, it is Boyle's temperature. A and B, again they are van der Waals constant, and R is universal gas constant. So remember all these things. Now we will solve the problems based on the states of matter. Let's see the 25th question. 120 gram of an ideal gas of molecular weight 40 gram per mole are confirmed to a volume of 20 liter at 400 Kelvin. Using R value, that is 0.0821 liter atmosphere per Kelvin per mole, the pressure of gas is. So what they have given? They have given certain amount of gas, that is 120 gram of gas, and it is confined to 20 liter at 400 Kelvin. 20 ಲೀಟರ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ, ಅದನ್ನು ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ. ಟೆಂಪ್ರೇಚರ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, 400 ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್. ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ R, you have to find the pressure of that gas. Okay, how much pressure it will exert. So first, before going to calculate the pressure, first write down what they have given. ಅವ್ರು ಏನೇನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ ಅದನ್ನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ಕೋರಿ. First what they have given, 120 gram of an ideal gas is given. 120 gram ideal gas ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ. So that is the mass of gas, which is denoted as W is equal to mass of gas, it is denoted as W, and it is around about 120 gram. ಎಷ್ಟು ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅದ ರೀ, 120 gram. And that gas has molecular weight 40 grams per mole. Molecular weight is denoted as capital M, and that is 40 grams per mole. Then it is confined to a volume of 20 liter. 20 liter volume ಅನ್ನು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ. So V is equal to 20 liters and the temperature is 400 Kelvin. Temperature is 400 Kelvin. The value of R is also given. R value nu ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ. So R is equal to 0.0821 liter atmosphere per Kelvin per mole. Now what you need to find? Pressure. Okay. So they have given W, M, V, T, R, P. You need to find the pressure. Which formula you are going to use here? ಯಾವ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೆಷರನ್ನು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್, ಹೆನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಏನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್? ಪಿ ವಿ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎನ್ ಆರ್ ಟಿ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್, in this ideal gas equation, V will given, R is given, T is also given. What you need to find? You need to find the pressure. ನಿಮಗೆ V ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ, R ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ T ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ. ನೀವು P ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ದಿ P, you must know another value, that is the value of N. ಈಗ P ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದರದ್ದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಯಾವುದು? ಎನ್. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ದಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಎನ್? ಎನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ದಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋಲ್ಸ್? ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋಲ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಮಾಸ್ divided by molecular mass or molar mass. Given mass divided by molar mass. This is the formula to find the number of moles. Given mass is denoted as W and molar mass is denoted as capital M. And they have given the values of W and M. W ಮತ್ತು M value ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ. So substitute those values in this equation. What you will get? W is equal to 120 divided by capital M is 40. So how much you will get? 0, 0 get cancels. 4 ones are 4, 3s are 12. So N value is nothing but 3. Now substitute these values in this equation. What you will get? You need to find the pressure. So pressure is equal to nRT divided by V. Next, P is equal to, value of N is 3 into R value is 0.0821 into temperature is how much? That is given 400 Kelvin divided by volume is how much? It is 20 liter. So 20. So simplify this. How much you will get? Upon simplification, you will get 4.92 atmosphere. So this is the pressure of the ideal gas, which is confined to the volume of 20 liter maintained at 400 Kelvin. Okay, ಇಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. P is equal to 4.92 atmosphere. So the option B is the right term. Next one, same mass of CH4 and H2 is taken in container. The partial pressure caused by H2 is. ಒಂದು ಕಂಟೈನರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಎರಡು ತೊಗೊಂಡಾರ. ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದಾರ? You have to find the partial pressure caused by hydrogen. How much pressure is exerted by hydrogen, that you need to find. So here are the options: 8/9, 1/9, 1/2 and 1. Now how to find the partial pressure? As you know, we have derived the relationship between partial pressure and mole fraction. ನಮಗೆ ಪಾರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಒಂದು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಅದ. ಯಾವುದು? PI is equal to X into P total. You have to remember all the equations. ಎಲ್ಲ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾಸ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಸನ್ನು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ದಿ ಪಾರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ you have the formula Pi is equal to x into P total, where Pi is partial pressure of a given gas and x is mole fraction, P total is total pressure. Now you need to find the partial pressure. Okay, so here they asked you to find the partial pressure of hydrogen. So instead of I will write pH2, partial pressure of hydrogen, is equal to x into P total. So it is total pressure and x is mole fraction of hydrogen, XH2, mole fraction of hydrogen. So in order to find this, first you need to find the mole fraction. ನೀವು ಏನು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕೀಗ? ಮೋಲ್ ಫ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹೌ ಯು ಫೈಂಡ್ ದಿ ಮೋಲ್ ಫ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್? ಮೋಲ್ ಫ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ is equal to number of moles divided by total number of moles. Moles of all components. Here number of moles of hydrogen. Now how to find the number of moles? ಈಗ ನಾವು ಮೋಲ್ ಫ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ number of moles of hydrogen and number of moles of all the components that you need to find. To find the number of moles, what formula you will use? N is equal to W divided by M. This is the formula to find the number of moles. So W is given mass. Let that given mass be X. A given mass ಏನಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊರಿ? X ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊರಿ. Because they have not given the value or ನಮಗೇನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಎನಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ಯಾವುದೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಅದನ್ನು ಏನಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ? ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಇಟ್, ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಎಮ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋಲಾರ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್. ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ದು ಮೋಲಾರ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಫೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ molar mass of hydrogen is H2. One hydrogen, the molar mass or atomic mass H2, 1. 2 hydrogen atoms are there. So hydrogen molecule, its molar mass is 2. So X by 2 is the number of moles of hydrogen. And what is the total number of moles of all the components? Hang find out ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು? Number of moles of hydrogen and number of moles of methane. ಎರಡು ಸಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೇನು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ? ಟೋಟಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ದಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಮೀಥೇನದ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋಲ್ಸನ್ನು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅಗೇನ್ ದಿ ಗಿವನ್ ಮಾಸ್, ಸೇಮ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, W ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಎಮ್. ಲೆಟ್ ದಟ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಬಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್. ಅದು ಏನಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ? ಮಾಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊರಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನಾಟ್ ಗಿವನ್, ಅದನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ molar mass. Molar mass of CH4 is, atomic mass of carbon is 12 and totally 4 hydrogen atoms are there. So 4, 12 plus 4, 16. So X divided by 16. Now so find the mole fraction. Mole fraction find out madri of what? Hydrogen. Mole fraction of hydrogen is equal to number of moles of hydrogen. How much it is? X divided by 2 whole divided by total number of moles of all the components. Hang find out ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? X by 2 plus X by 16. Now take the LCM. What you will get? X by 2 whole divided by 16 is the LCM. Okay, so here you will get 2 8s are 16, so 8x plus x. Okay, 16 ones are, so here you will get x. 8x plus x is equal to 9x. So x by 2 whole divided by 9x divided by 16. What happens? X get cancel out. 2 ones are, 2 8s are. So how much it will remain? You will get 8 divided by 9. Okay. Now, substitute that value in this formula. Again madri, aa value na il substitute madri. Now we have mole fraction of hydrogen. So partial pressure of hydrogen is equal to XH2. Mole fraction is 8 by 9 into P total. So the partial pressure of hydrogen is 8 by 9. If we consider the total pressure as 1, then the partial pressure of hydrogen will be 8 by 9. Okay, and hence the option A is the right answer. Next one, a pressure of a mixture of 4 gram of O2 and 2 gram of H2 confined in a bulb of 1 liter at 0 degrees Celsius is. So they have given the mixture of oxygen and hydrogen, and the volume of that mixture is 1 liter maintained at 0 degrees Celsius. You need to find the pressure. So first write down the given things. They have given the mass of O2, that is 4 gram, and also the mass of hydrogen, that is 2 gram, and they are mixed and formed a volume of V is equal to 1 liter and temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. First convert this to Kelvin. How much you will get? 273 plus 0 is equal to 273 Kelvin. So they have given the masses of hydrogen and oxygen, volume and temperature. Now you need to find the pressure. So in order to find the pressure, you have one equation again, that is PV is equal to nRT. Ida formula use ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, because they have given temperature ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, volume is also given, R value it is constant that you already know, that is R is equal to 0.0821 liter atmosphere per Kelvin. So substitute these values and you will get the pressure. Before that, again you need to find the N value, that is number of moles. How you find the number of moles? Again, number of moles is equal to what? Number of moles, which is denoted as N, is equal to given mass divided by molar mass. First find the number of moles of O2. Number of moles of O2 is equal to, given mass is how much? 4 gram divided by molar mass of O2. O2, so simply if you take oxygen, it is having the atomic mass 16. So O2 is there, therefore its atomic molar mass is 32. 4 by 32. Then number of moles of hydrogen. Again given mass, how much it is? 2. Molar mass is again 2 only. So 2 ones are 2 ones are, you will get 1, and here 4 ones are 4 8s are, you will get 1 by 8. This is the number of moles of oxygen and number of moles of hydrogen. So total number of moles, because it is a mixture and you need to find the total number of moles. Therefore, total number of moles is equal to total number of moles is nothing but how much? Number of moles of oxygen plus number of moles of hydrogen, that is equal to, number of moles of oxygen is 1 by 8 and number of moles of hydrogen is 1. How much you will get? You will get 1.25. That is the total number of moles, that is nothing but the value of N. So substitute that value in this equation, you will get the pressure. So PV is equal to, you need to find the pressure, so nRT divided by V. N is how much? 1.125 into R is 0.0821 into temperature is 273 whole divided by volume is 1. So how much you will get? On simplification, you will get 25.215 atm. Okay, that is the pressure. This much you will obtain. So which answer is right here? Option A is the correct answer. The next one, average kinetic energy of an ideal gas per molecule in SI unit at 25 degrees Celsius will be. So you need to find the average kinetic energy of an ideal gas. That is also per molecule. Okay, simply if they have given average kinetic energy, you will use the formula kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 RT. But now they have given per molecule. When they have given per molecule, you will use the formula Ke is equal to 3 by 2 Kt, where K is Boltzmann constant. And here the K value means 3 by 2 R divided by Na, okay, into T. That is the kinetic energy, average kinetic energy per molecule. So this is the formula that you are going to use now, that you have already discussed earlier. Now substitute the values of R and Na and temperature, you will get the average kinetic energy. So kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 R, that is in SI unit, and hence you need to write the value of R in terms of SI unit, that is 8.314. If they are given in liter atmosphere, then you have to write 0.0821. Now they have given in terms of SI unit, so 8.314 divided by Na or N0, that is Avogadro's number, it is given as 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 into temperature is how much? 25 degrees Celsius, but you have to convert that into Kelvin. So how much you will get? T is equal to 273 plus 25, that is equal to 298 Kelvin. So substitute that 298 in place of temperature. So how much you will get? On simplification, you will get 6.17 into 10 raised to minus 21 joules. That is the kinetic energy. So which option is right here? Option B. So here they have given kilojoules and here they have given joules. The answer is in joules. So option B is the right answer. The next question, the ratio between the RMS velocity of H2 at 50 Kelvin and O2 at 800 Kelvin is 4, 2, 1 and 1 by 4. So you need to find the RMS velocity. Two different gases are given and two different temperatures are given. You know the formula for RMS velocity when the two different temperatures are given. How you find? Square root of T1 by T2, that you know. And if there is a presence of different gases, then you use the formula URMS is equal to M2 divided by M1. You add formula ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. When two different gases have been given, you use this formula at same temperature. And when two different temperatures are given for same gas, then you will use this formula. But see this, here two different gases are there as well as two different temperatures are also there. ಎರಡು different gases ಅದಾವು, ಎರಡು different temperatures ಅದಾವು. So what you will do here? Simply combine this. What you will get? URMS is equal to square root of T1 by T2 into M2 divided by M1. Two different temperatures, two different gases, where M1 and M2 are molar masses, T1 and T2 are temperatures of respective gases. So here substitute the values. So before that write down. So here T1 means hydrogen, that is TH2. You can also write it as TH2, temperature of hydrogen. How much it is? It is maintained at 50 Kelvin. And temperature of oxygen, that is T2, it is temperature of oxygen is equal to how much? 800 Kelvin. Okay. So what is the M1 and M2 values? M1 means molar mass of hydrogen, that is written as MH2 is equal to, what is the molar mass of hydrogen? 2. And what is the molar mass of oxygen? That is represented as MO2. How much it is? 16 into 2, 32. So these are the values. Substitute those values in this equation. What you will get? T1 is how much? 50 divided by T2 is 800 into M2 is, that is molar mass of oxygen 32 divided by M1, that is molar mass of hydrogen, that is 2. So simplify this, 0 0 get cancel out, 2 1s are 2 16s are. So on simplification what you will get? You will get 1. Okay, 5 16s are, how much you will get? 80. 80 get cancel out, square root of 1 is nothing but 1 only. So URMS, root mean square velocity, is 1. So therefore which option is right? Option C is the right answer. Next one, which of the following has maximum RMS velocity? Option A sulfur dioxide, option B carbon dioxide, option C oxygen, option D hydrogen. ಇದರೊಳಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ಹೆಚ್ಚು RMS velocity ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ? As you know, the RMS velocity, okay, it is inversely proportional to square root of molar mass. Means as molar mass increases, root mean square velocity gets decreases. Molar mass ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, okay, then RMS value gets decreases with increase in molar mass. So among these you need to find which molecule is having lowest molar mass. The lowest molar mass having molecule will have highest root mean square velocity. So which one is having the lowest molar mass? SO2, its atomic mass is sulfur, its atomic mass is 32 plus oxygen 32, it gives 64, and carbon dioxide, its molar mass is 44, and oxygen, its molar mass is 32, and hydrogen, its molar mass is 2. Among these, which one is having the lowest molar mass? That is hydrogen, and hence its root mean square velocity is higher as compared to all these three, since it is having lowest molar mass. So option D is the right one. Next one is density ratio of oxygen and hydrogen is 16:1. The ratio of their RMS velocity is, they have given density, okay, you need to find the RMS velocity. I have told one formula to you, that is URMS is equal to square root of 3p divided by d. Okay, so this is the formula to find the density and RMS velocity when such type of questions are given. Here two gases are given, O2 and H2, and also they have given their ratios. So instead of writing this is the general equation. Now write this equation for O2 and H2. So URMS of O2 is equal to square root of 3p divided by dO2. Let us consider it as density of oxygen. And U hydrogen, RMS velocity of hydrogen is square root of 3p into dH2. Okay. Now they have given the ratio. Take their ratio, because they have asked you to find the ratio of their RMS velocity. Ratio ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕು. ratio ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? UO2 divided by UH2. that is equal to what they have given, square root of 3p divided by dO2 divided by 3p divided by dH2. Okay, since at both the sides square roots are there, I will write it as square root of 3p divided by dO2, 3p divided by dH2. Here pressure is constant because they have not mentioned the different pressures, and hence you have to consider the pressure as constant, and hence I have not written it as pH2 or PO2. It is simply P. For both of the gases the pressure is same, that is P only, hence I have written like that. So what happens here? 3p get cancels. What will remain? Square root of, it will comes to the numerator and it comes to denominator, dH2 divided by dO2. So what is the ratio of their densities? Square root of H2, how much it is? H2 is 1 divided by density of oxygen is 16. So what you will get? Square root of 1 divided by 16 is nothing but 1 divided by 4, and therefore the ratio of their densities is 1:4. That can be written like this: 1 divided by 4 means 1:4. So which option is right here? Option C is the right one. The next question: at what temperature the RMS velocity of SO2 be same as that of O2 at 303 Kelvin? So ಯಾವ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರಿಗೆ RMS velocity of SO2 RMS velocity of oxygenಗೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, O2ದು 303 ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನು RMS velocity ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟು RMS velocity ಸಲ್ಫರ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅಗೇನ್ ಯು ನೋ ದಿ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್, URMS is equal to what? Square root of m2 divided by m1, and URMS is equal to square root of T1 divided by T2. This is when two different gases are given, this is when two different temperatures are given. So you need to find the RMS velocity of SO2 when it is equal to the RMS velocity of oxygen. So here what you have to write? RMS velocity of sulfur dioxide is equal to RMS velocity of oxygen. That you need to find. Both should be equal. So at what temperature you will get that? For that you have to take the ratio of molar mass of that sulfur dioxide will be taken as m1 divided by T1. So because here now they have combined it, so simply take the ratio of m1 and T1 for sulfur dioxide, and RMS velocity of oxygen will be taken as m2 divided by T2. Okay. Now when two different gases are given at same temperature, we will consider this. Okay. Now they have given two gases and they asked you to find, equate those two gases RMS velocities. ಆ ಎರಡು ವೆಲಾಸಿಟೀಸ್, ಎರಡು ಗ್ಯಾಸದ RMS velocities ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು? ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಅದನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ಯಾರ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ದಿ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್: m1 divided by T1 and m2 divided by T2. Okay. Now substitute the values. What you will get? m1 means molar mass of sulfur dioxide. How much it is? Sulfur dioxide, the molar mass of sulfur is 32 plus oxygen is 32, it is 64, divided by temperature T1 that you need to find. So keep it as it is, equal to square root of molar mass of oxygen is how much? It is 32 divided by temperature is 303 Kelvin. Now you need to find the T1 value. So squaring on both sides, ಎರಡು ಕಡೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ರಿ? ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ರಿ. Squaring, what you will get? Square roots will get cancel out. ಎರಡು ಕಡೆ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತ್ರಿ? ಇದು ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ರೂಟ್ ಏನಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾವ? ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾವ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನು ಉಳಿತದ? 64 divided by T1 is equal to 32 divided by 303. So simplify this, what you will get? You want T1. So T1 is equal to 64 into 303 divided by 32. 32 ones are, 32 twos are. 2 into 303 is 606 Kelvin. So at 606 Kelvin temperature, the RMS velocity of sulfur dioxide is equal to the RMS velocity of oxygen maintained at 303 Kelvin. So which option is right here? Option B. The next question, the temperature of an ideal gas reduced from 927 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. The RMS velocity of molecule becomes. So as you know, the ideal gas is given and two different temperatures are given. Starting temperature ಎಷ್ಟಿಟ್ಟಾರಿ 927 degree Celsius ಅದ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗೈತಿ 27 degree Celsius ಆಗೈತಿ. So what is the RMS velocity? RMS velocity ಎಷ್ಟಾಗತ್ರಿ? It becomes, so initially let us consider U1 is equal to square root of 3RT1 divided by M. Same gas is there, okay, no different gases are there, only the temperatures are different but gases are same. And let us consider initially the temperature is T1 and hence U1 is equal to 3RT1 divided by M. And after certain time it is reduced to 27 degrees Celsius, then U2 becomes 3RT2 divided by M. Temperature is only changed, remaining things are constant. Same gas is there, so molar mass is also same and RR, that is also same. So what you will get? Take the ratio U1 by U2 is equal to, on simplification, the 3Rm, 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 they will get cancelled out. What you will get? T1 divided by T2. So substitute the values of T1 and T2. T1 initial temperature ಎಷ್ಟದರಿ? T1 is equal to 927 degree Celsius initial starting ಅಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು. It is in degree Celsius, convert that into Kelvin. Kelvin ಗೆ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? plus 273. How much it gives? It gives 1200 Kelvin. And what about T2? T2 is 27 degree Celsius. So 27 degree plus 273. How much it gives? It gives 300 Kelvin. So substitute the values of T1 and T2. T1 is 1200, T2 is 300. So U1 by U2 is equal to square root of 1200 divided by 3. So 300 ones are 300 fours are. So square root of 4. Okay. Now what you will get? U1 by U2 is equal to 2. U1 by U2 value is for 3, 2, because square root of 4 is 2. Now what they asked? The RMS velocity of molecule becomes, RMS velocity of molecule ಏನಾಗತ್ತಾ? So therefore here U1 is equal to 2U2. U1 is equal to ಏನಾಗತ್ರಿ? 2U2 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Initial RMS velocity is double the second RMS velocity, that is at temperature 27 degrees Celsius. But they asked you to find at 27 degrees Celsius what would be the RMS velocity. So you need to find the U2. So U2 is equal to U1 divided by 2. The 2 will come to the denominator. So you can write it as 1 by 2 is equal to U1 is equal to U2. So half the initial RMS velocity. The final RMS velocity will be half the initial RMS velocity you will get. Okay. Therefore, option B is the right answer. Simply take that answer. Option B. As the temperature is raised from 20 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius, the average kinetic energy of neon atoms changes by a factor of which of the following? So here neon gas is taken and temperature is changed from 20 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. So from what factor the average kinetic energy of neon atoms will changes? ನಿಮಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಗೊತ್ತು ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕೈನೆಟಿಕ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿನೂ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ರೀ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗುತ್ತೆ or by what factor it will changes, that you need to calculate. So here what is the formula of average kinetic energy? As I have already told you, average kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 kT. 3 by 2 kT. So therefore here average kinetic energy of neon at 40 degrees Celsius is equal to 3 by 2 K into T means temperature, that is 40 degrees Celsius. Convert that into Kelvin, how much you will get? 273 plus 40, that is equal to 313 divided by average kinetic energy of neon at 20 degrees Celsius is equal to 3 by 2 K into, again temperature is 20, convert that into Kelvin, how much you will get? 293. So this is same and hence they get cancel out. What you will get? 313 divided by 293. So which option is right here? Option A is the right answer. The next question, the ratio of Boyle's temperature and critical temperature for gas is. These are the given options. So what is Boyle's temperature? The temperature at which real gas shows ideal behavior, and it is given as TB is equal to A divided by B into R. This is Boyle's temperature. And what is critical temperature? Tc is equal to 8A divided by 27 into R into B. That relation I have already explained to you. Now take the ratio. They ask you to find the ratio of Boyle's and critical temperature. So Boyle's temperature and critical temperature. Boyle temperature is A divided by BR whole divided by, critical temperature is 8A divided by 27 RB. So how much you will get? A get cancel out, B R. They will get cancel out. How much you will get? 27 will shift to the numerator. So 27 divided by, here what will remain? 8. 27 divided by 8. That is option B is the right answer. Next question, which curve in figure represents the curve of an ideal gas? So these are the curves which are obtained for different gases A, B, C, D, E and F. So now you need to find which curve will represent the ideal gas. As you have studied in deviation from ideal gas behavior, in the graph, the straight line which is parallel to the x-axis will represent the ideal gas, and remaining all are real gases, and hence the B, which is a straight line parallel to the x-axis, represents the ideal gas, and remaining all are real gases, and hence here B only represents the ideal gas, and hence option A is the right answer.